oh gosh, I think I'm gonna have to make a video on its own where I get to ramble a little bit about this book. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing a wrap up of what I've been reading for the first month of 2024, and when that's said, let's dive into the video. I just realised I forgot to heat up the milk for my matcha latte. So it's not going to be good for long. Good thing that I didn't do that before the coffee gets cold, huh? So the first book is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by, oh gosh, Toshikazu Kawaguchi. And this is a short book with 4 short stories in it, and it is all set in this cafe that can travel back in time. We follow the same characters and have a different focus on each of the characters throughout in the different short stories. And I must say, I was really intrigued by the premise of this book. I don't think I had high hopes for it. I don't think that's the word for it, but I was excited to read it, and it's my first, is it Japanese? Oh, it's Japanese, yeah. It's my first experience reading Japanese books, and I can definitely feel that the culture is very different from Scandinavian, at least. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think this book is terrible. Absolutely terrible. It does say that it's the global bestseller, but I'm not sure of what. I don't get it. I really do not get it. The premise of this book is so good, but I absolutely hate his writing. There's so much telling instead of showing, and even when he shows us, the author has told us before and is telling us again afterwards. There's so much repetition, and it's absolutely driving me insane, and I'm so angry with this book. Like, I'm so angry. My husband thinks it's absolutely hilarious. The only reason I did not DNF this book was because of this channel, basically. And I had a tiny hope that maybe the last story of this book would, lift it up. It would all make sense or something. But it's terrible writing. This book is very short to begin with, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with short books at all if they are well done. And this one just isn't. And I don't get it. Like, am I missing something? Have any of you read Before the Coffee Gets Cold? And please let me know anything to help me, because I feel like I'm missing something with this book. I absolutely thought it was terrible. Well, first of all, I found a mistake in like the first 5 pages or something, where we are told first female character in the first short story, Fumiko, if I recall correctly, she's been with her boyfriend for 3 years. And then 5 pages later, they say boyfriend of 2 years. And I'm like, that's not good enough. And I'm so annoyed with it. Where was it? I'm just gonna read out loud what I mean by him telling, then sharing, then telling us again. Him meaning the author. Once again, Fumiko's head was filled with racing thoughts. Ghost? A real moaning, shrieking ghost? The sort that appears under a weeping willow in the summer? The girl just said it so casually. Maybe I misheard, but what sounds like is a ghost. Fumiko's head was awash with many confusing thoughts. I know. You told us, and you showed us, and now you're telling us again. Ghost? Yes, you're messing with me. No, honestly, she's a ghost. Fumiko was bewildered. I know! So annoying. Fumiko was confused. I know. Like, You've told us, you've shown us, you've told us again, you've shown us a little bit, and now you're telling us one more time. And just in case we hadn't figured it out by now, you told us again. I'm so disappointed in this book. And this is just one example. Everything in the book is more or less like that. And I am so annoyed with the female characters in this book, because they are all, he's trying to make them strong and independent and have a mind of their own, and but it just doesn't, they're just not, at least to Scandinavian standards. Like, so the first short story is about Fumiko and her boyfriend, and they break up in the cafe because he wants to go to America for work, which is a dream that he's had, and he's been very honest about it since day one. I mean, who breaks up in the cafe? 2, he doesn't give a good reason, like emotional reason, to break up with her either. He doesn't even take into account that maybe they could be long distance, maybe she wanted to come with him. No, he just takes the decision and doesn't even tell her about it until he breaks up with her. And 4, he just walks off. I'm baffled. I mean, that could be a good thing, because my emotions are definitely high. But then she decides, she basically goes back in time because she wanted to handle things differently and get the answers that she needed to understand this, the breakup side of it, because she's devastated, of course, and she does so, and he just suddenly, not suddenly, but before she goes back to the present day, she hears that if he could just make her wait 3 years, then he would return or something. And so she decides, okay, she's just gonna wait 3 years and then they're gonna be back together, hopefully. But she doesn't know, and the story doesn't say anything about her actually reaching out, or like, there's nothing of the sorts. And seriously, are you just gonna wait 3 years for someone who breaks up with you like that? Being so disrespectful. You're gonna wait 3 years and you're not even sure he comes back? Oh my gosh. Have a spine. Grow some balls. And most of the women are like that. And all of the men can't show any emotion at all. They're just, most of them are described like, where their wives say, oh, I know he looks stern and his brows are frowned together, but that's the way he looks happy. I know he's happy because he's frowning. Like, what? I mean, I know it's a different culture, but come on, that's just impossible to work with. So I'm just, with this book, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I was so disappointed, and I feel like there's something, I don't get it. I'm missing something. And it might be that I don't get Japanese culture. I just feel like when I've read other books where the cultural differences are very big, I've still been able to connect with the characters, or at least have an understanding of, oh, that's just something I don't get because the culture is so far away from my own. But not with this one. This, I'm just mad as hell. So if you've read the book and you thought it was good or just okay, can you please leave a comment explaining stuff to me? I really want to like this book. I don't like it when I don't like the books I read. So I would not recommend this. I wouldn't. Please, someone change my mind. Make me understand this book. Because I'm only going to give it a 1 star. I was just about to say 5 stars, but that's like 5 stars of being bullshit. 1 star. I was so disappointed, and it took me forever to read because I just didn't want to read it. I think it took me a week. I don't get it. Leave a comment below if you like this book, and please try and explain to me why. What is it that I'm not getting? I think the writing is terrible. The characters are terrible. The premise is awesome. I love it. It could have been amazing. And I think it would actually be quite a good book to movies adaptation, like a mini series. I think that could work wonders, but for fuck's sake. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And until next time, happy reading. The first female character in the first story. Oh my gosh.